Hello all and welcome back to High Ridge Farm with me, the Walrus. I must apologise if I sound a bit strange at the moment, as I recently came out of hospital. I found out that if you have a repeated cough which has prevented you from recording, amongst other things, for more than 3.5 weeks, it's probably a sign of an acute lung infection. And as such, I spent a reasonable amount of time in hospital, being pumped full of drugs through an IV. That was fun. Excuse me. I will freely admit it does mean that my voice might sound a bit croaky and crackly, but hopefully I'll be able to finish recording this one and get it uploaded, because I'd quite like to continue with the series, unsurprisingly. But for the time being, I may have to take it a bit slower than normal. As of course, it can be quite difficult to talk when you've got a lung infection. It means that I can't speak for as long or as quickly. But I just can definitely say that I'm glad that I found out what was wrong with me, even though it did require me to call for an ambulance. But lamentations about me being an idiot aside, it's back to the Walrus doing Walrus things on the farm. Now, as you can see at the moment, it is Wednesday, the 10th of the winter season. I nearly said 10th of December there. Good grief. I mean, frighteningly enough, that's actually quite close to when I'm actually recording. So, what I've got now is just a little bit of extra gubbins to put away. I have to quickly run around and organise my animals as well today, as of course I need to quickly go and have a look at those. Now, I have got my iridium bar, which has now allowed me to make another iridium sprinkler, which means that I can now plant some more crops in the greenhouse, which is great, because that means that I can have more things growing in there, and that's going to be, shamelessly, more starfruit, because I like money, and that's going to be the easiest way for me to make some at the moment. Now, I'm going to quickly have a look inside the barn and have a look and see what I've actually got to grab, because my auto grabber makes life so much easier. And I'm kind of thinking I need to buy another one of those ready for my coop when that gets upgraded as well. And that's going to be the major next upgrade. Admittedly, I would also like to organise what I have in the coop, because I would love to have a coop just full of dinosaurs. I think that would be great. But we'll have to see. Now, of course, I don't have access to the auto feeder yet, because I haven't upgraded this place yet. That is going to be the next major task, is upgrading the coop. And I know that's going to require a lot more money than I currently have, because I've only got 4,500, which is definitely nowhere near enough. However, I've got a lot of stuff to sell today. Well, a lot of useful gubbins to sell at least, which is good. Now, of course, I've now plopped a super cucumber into that pond, and hopefully within a few days that'll be up to full size, with 3 out of 3 for the time being, which will then issue a quest to me to get something to make it able to go further than the 3, which is the next major step. Now, I'm just going to quickly deposit a few of these more unusual building materials. I say unusual, it's clay. It's not really unusual, is it? I think the tiger's eye, I shall probably sell it, I think. It's not really that useful to me at the end of the day. But that's just how this one rolls. Okay, let's just fling all that in there. Lovely jubbly. So that should make us a reasonable amount of money, so we can get cracking with some upgrades soon enough, which would be lovely. And I'm going to quickly make some much better fertilizer. There we go. And put the sap back away, because of course I'm going to need that for planting stuff inside the greenhouse. I had a brain fart there. I forgot the word for greenhouse. Will freely admit, I'm very much exhausted. After being discharged from the hospital, I spent a little bit of time, as in 2 days, asleep. Thankfully, I have family who live very close by, which meant that my guinea pigs were very well looked after, as my father absolutely adores one specifically. He loves them all, but there's one that he has an absolute soft spot for, and I know full well that he gave that little mite lots of extra treats, because I know what my dad's like. He's a terror. I can't say no to their little faces, though, so I think it's quite reasonable that he's easily guilted into giving his cute little face extra treats. Okay, so I'm going to put a cherry sapling down here. So you can see I'm planting a lot of the trees around the perimeter here. And it was one of those little weird... I know it's a discovery that's been known about for quite a while, this being able to plant trees inside the greenhouse. And I accidentally discovered it by myself because I very rarely use Wikipedias for games. I think the only one I've ever really used is the Minecraft wiki, so I could actually try to understand how the hell redstone works. And even then, I'm still not very good at it. And it was just because I was carrying a sapling and I accidentally planted it. And it confused the absolute... every last bit of me was very confused after that. I was like, how on earth has that done a thing? That makes no sense. Now, what I'm looking for at the moment is stuff that can increase my fishing skill, because I do very much want to catch the legendary fish. I've said it a few times already that I'm having some difficulty trying to catch it, and it's causing me annoyance and frustration. So I think that by eating food that increases my fishing skill, using bobbers, like different fishing lures, and other miscellaneous doodads might help, maybe? I mean, I hope it does, because I'd very much like to catch that damn fish, stick him in my fish tank with the other legendaries. However, it might not work. Hopefully it does, though, because I've definitely been trying to catch it at least for 3 or 4 episodes, and it's driving me round the bend. But I will check and see what Willie has at the fishing shop, food-wise. Now, it does look like... I need to quickly dart back in. There we go. Now, I just cut out that bit because it was literally just me running to Willie's and coming back out. Trout soup. It's a starter. It's a starting point. It'll give me a slight improvement on my fishing skill, and that's something. Because that's really what today's, the afternoon's going to be for me, is just trying to catch it. And it's 2:20 p.m. Got lots of opportunity to catch the damn thing. It's just I know I'm not being that bad at catching fish, but good grief, he's being an absolute swine to catch. So we'll see how well we do today. So a quick bit of trout soup. That's going to buff the fishing skill a little bit. I mean, also give me a bit more energy. The energy's not so helpful because I wasn't missing much. But it does mean that I can try and catch more fish. Now, get on the... No. I really wish there was an easier way of catching this guy. He's driving me around the bend. He really is. Excuse me. Yes, apologies. With a chest infection is causing quite a few nasty coughs at the moment. So hopefully it'll go away soon. Because... unsurprising enough, I'd really like to keep recording these, and I'm aware that it's making my voice sound a bit more raspy and not really well, unsurprisingly enough. Okay, so just quickly skipped a bit of time ahead because I was just not having much luck there, and as you can see, it's still causing me endless issues. I'm catching a few random fish, but nothing exciting. As in, the unique legendary fish. What I might do tomorrow in-game, on Thursday, is I might go to the desert. I might see if I can go and try and get a little bit further down in the Skull Caves. And see if I can get myself a little bit more iridium ore. Because that stuff would be nice and helpful. More than anything. Because I'd rather get a bit more of that. So I can actually make more iridium sprinklers. As, of course, iridium sprinklers are going to be phenomenally helpful for me in the long run. And the more of them I have, the better it is. Now, of course, I'm going to grab this crystal fruit because that's one of the items of the winter forage bundles that I always seem to be running out of. And I would like to quite get that. Thank you very much. Because, of course, the sooner I can sort out having larger numbers of them allowing me to plant more, that would be nice. Because the more of these winter forage doodads that I can plant, the better. Just be helpful more than anything. Now, of course, I also need to think about getting myself a pig. Now, one of the reasons I'm thinking about getting a pig at the moment is because, of course, come the spring, it'll be able to start looking for truffles. And the sooner I can get the pig, the sooner it will age up enough to actually be able to do so. Because as a piglet, it isn't able to. So, sooner the better. Although, amusingly enough, a friend of mine who, a close friend of mine, used to, he went to agricultural university, and he was saying to me that all the animals he's ever worked with, sheep are great, but they're dumb. Like, really, really stupid. Cows are actually surprisingly affectionate. And pigs are evil. And I can see why he says that. Yeah, they don't... They are just evil, malicious little creatures. And, yeah, that's definitely a statement that when he said to me, I was like, oh, yeah, I don't think you're wrong there. Now, I'm just flinging those salmon berries into the sales box because now that I've actually got the bear's knowledge, it actually makes them more valuable to sell than bothering to turn them into jam. So it's very much of a, I'll just sell them. It doesn't matter. And it's one of those things like, yeah, it'd be cool to have being able to make them into jam and potentially make more money. But because I don't have the artisan perk as part of my farming skills, it does actually mean it's not really as valuable to me, which is a shame. But oh well. You know what? While I'm here, I'm just going to hoe up this large swath of land. I'm going to plant some seeds because I'm coming into the greenhouse most days anyway to check on what's harvestable. And it's only a couple of days until Friday. And if I've got the money for it, then I'll be able to purchase the other iridium sprinkler from Krobus, which will be good. Right, let's plonk that there and have some yams. Oh, I should have planted the rare seed. That would have been clever. But at the same time, I never said I was an intelligent man. I just do things on impulse. It's one of those things that, like, it's a phrase, sort of a question I've asked a few friends and such. What's the craziest, most insane thing that you've done on a whim? And it's the sort of like realizing oh, yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it? For example, I actually upped and left the UK and went to live in the United States for 2.5 years. Pretty much without thinking about it. Like, didn't really go through any, like, major thought process. The big thought process was applying for the visa. And it was because I had a student visa. Because, of course, I was going to be in the US for a couple of years and then coming back to finish my degree. It did mean that every now and again I'd get grilled by immigration because I'd return home every like 4 or 5 months, which I thought was reasonable, you know. But apparently it looked suspicious. But they were like, okay, fair enough. You've actually got a legit reason why you're staying, and you know you've got a visa. I'm like, well, yes. But it was a strange old time. Anyway. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with these mixed seeds. I can't remember what happens if you plant them during the winter in the greenhouse. I think it could select from any of the seasons to grow something from. Though I'm not sure. I'm genuinely not sure. Now, of course, one of the main reasons I'm growing the potatoes is to make hash browns, which will allow me to make the dish of the sea. Now, I've got the sardines for it, but I think that if I can get the potatoes as well, that should, hopefully, give me the capability to have the much higher fishing skill that I need to catch this damn fish. Okay, so now we're into day 11 of the winter. So it's a lovely Thursday. What's the living on the land got to tell us today? Squid and lingcod. Yep, I've caught both of those. Oh, I probably should water that. There we go. Lovely stuff. Now, again, we're going to do the quick run around the farm and water crops and all that lovely jazz. Now, of course, I haven't got much in the way of winter forageable stuff planted here. Partly because, well, that involves getting it more than anything. And it's because I haven't actually seen that many of the forageable gubbins. Because I haven't really left the farm that much in the last couple of days. Not too difficult to do, though. Aha, we have some crops grown. So we've got some parsnips. Lovely. That's nice. And we've also got ourselves some poppies. They're nice and pretty, at least. So essentially what I've now got inside my greenhouse is a opium farm. I mean, to be honest, right now that would be actually quite nice. The painkillers would be lovely. Right, so we'll pop the yams back in there. Let's plant some things. So some more starfruit, and it will probably not be a bad idea for me to get some more starfruit seeds while I'm also in the desert. Okay, mixed seeds. So let's plant these and actually find out what happens, because then I can actually answer my damn question of what the hell happens if you plant these. Now the cacti that I have planted, I will replace them later on, because I feel that the cactus is better in a pot, but I can also build pots in there as well, so it's not like it's too difficult to do that. Of course, the other things that I would like to grow in the pots are having a coffee plant in the kitchen, or 5, I don't know, and the same with the tea. Of course, that's going to require a better friendship to actually get access to the tea. But that's not impossible to do. It just takes a little bit of time. And I know full well I really need to work on the friendships at the moment. The trouble is I have that single-minded focus sometimes where I just go, nope, this is exactly what I need to do. Which does cause me some hilarious issues, because when I hyper-focus like that, I go, right, well, this needs to be done, and this needs to be completed. It's one of the things, I'm a bit of a completionist when it comes to video games. So one of my friends, he always finds, because we have very polar opposite ways of playing games, and his way of, he tends to enjoy mixing stuff up and starting anew again and again and again, because he wants to try out lots of different things. Whereas for me, I'm like, right, well, if I haven't reached the end game or the max level in the game, well, I haven't finished, and I need to keep working. Which, we played a lot of Vermintide when that came out. And he would alternate which character he was playing, even though there was a benefit to playing the same character and over. And the thing was, neither of us could really see each other's side, because I'd be like, well, why do you not want to make that character better? In the same way, he's like, yeah, but why do you not want to play different characters? It's like, and it's just the way that we both like to play our games. I'm very much of a completionist, and it's one of the reasons why I have to be very careful. I avoid playing MMOs. I used to play a lot of World of Warcraft, and yeah, that did a number on me. Because I'm very much of a hardcore power leveler. I will just get to the end game, do the end game over and over and over. And because of that, the way that games like that are structured, they're very dangerous to people like me who've got a little bit of an addictive personality like that. It's very, very dangerous. But that's just the way that rolls. Now, as we can see here in my farm, you've got a little bit of extra land that I need to clear, because I do need to organise those damn pine trees. I'm waiting for those other ones to grow, which of course they're not going to do because it's the winter, which is somewhat annoying, but that's just how it rolls. I wonder if I could make some tree fertilizer and plonk it on there. It might work. I don't think it will. It'd be nice if it did. It'd be very helpful. Not expecting it to, though. So, now let's have a quick look. I really should look at that note as well, because it's a secret note that I probably should read. And it could actually be useful to me. Okay. Vaguely helpful, telling us some of the things that she very much enjoys. Which, you know, it's a thing. It is good to know, like, some of the things that the villagers really enjoy. Because, of course, it means it's easier to develop their friendships. But it is a weird thing, just the way that Stardew and other games like it sort of have your friendships generated. You just be like, oh yeah, the random farmer up the road, he doesn't really say much, but he just came along and just gave me a poppy seed muffin, and I now love him. Okay. Whenever you like, dear. You do you, champ. Suitably weird. Righty, so we're going to quickly grab these, and then we're going to go and go to the desert, which will be nice. An excuse to get away from the snow, I think. There we go, 500G. I'd be curious to see like a full like map of the Stardew Valley area, just to sort of get an idea of like where you lived. I think, oh, what was the name of the city? I can't remember. But I think you worked in the city for a bit in the early cutscenes and such. So I'd be curious to see like where everything is in relation to one another. Same with like Ginger Island, and you do get a little bit of that when you actually travel to it, but not so much. I would like to see like a full map. I bet you there is a full map out there, and I've just been super oblivious and not actually realised where it is. Partly because I'm an idiot. And again, I will happily admit that fact, because I am an absolute moron. Now, ghosts can go away, because I don't want you. Be gone, please. I'm being polite for once. Now, go away. Horrible ghosties. Don't need to be dealing with you right now. In the same way, though, I do kind of want to fight some more mummies, because I actually want the linen from them. Again, it's a random drop chance, but I would quite like it, because that would be helpful more than anything. Of course, I'm just going to go around smashing up these rocks, because they're there. And kind of important for me to actually get down. So, of course, we've got ourselves a mummy here. So I'm going to quickly put a bomb down, and conveniently it means that I don't have to worry about mining everything else. Hurrah! So there we go. Bunch of stone and the ladder down. So we're going to smack... No, that's an axe. Well done, Walrus. You're such a genius. Okay, I warped open to the farm, so I do find a lot of these in here, actually. One of those useful doodads, I think. More than anything. So yeah, it's the wonderful joys that is. Now, of course, these dragon serpent doodad things, they're one of the... I think they're the creature that annoys me the most. Generally, because they're fast and they hit like a truck, and I don't like that. Oh gosh, go away, please. Again, it's the... Leveling up my combat skill is not a bad thing. It's just alarming when they do that much damage to you and give you a little bit of a fright. Because I'd rather not die well, pass out, but you get my drift. I'm just going to eat this. I don't really want to eat the crystal fruit, but it heals quite a lot. Same with the soup. I know I need it for, well, sort of need it more for fishing skills. But oh well. So the Omni Geodes are quite useful because they could give me something helpful like iridium or something not so useful like clay. Right, let's put that bomb there and run away. Oh, excellent. We've cleared our way down. Wonderful stuff. Let's just go. Okay. This sort of the spiral floors annoy me. Only because it's tedious to go through. But then again, every game's got to have some form of tedium. And it's either going to be this or dealing with JojaMart being JojaMart. I mean, I kind of imagine them like certain unnamed American food conglomerates that just go in and stomp all over local businesses and then fail miserably when they try it in different countries and realise that the labour laws are very different. Made me laugh, that did. Oh dear, there's horrible mummies. Go away. Now, eat sword. I definitely need a new blade. I think that's kind of the thing at the moment. I need a heftier weapon. But what I really need to do is I need to get myself a prismatic shard, because with that, then I can finally get the iridium weapons. And that'll make my life a lot easier. Okay, both of you need to explode now. Walrus says die. Okay, 3 levels. It could be worse. Let's just put a bomb there and just run away. Clear that area out. Okay, I still hurt myself then. Oops. Oh well, it happens. Okay, I've eaten a crocus and it's done nothing for me. I mean, I'm not quite sure what I expected eating a crocus. I've never heard of them being placed in a salad like a dandelion or anything. Because that's one of those odd things. Like, I found when I was looking through my grandmother's cookbook after she passed away, there were a lot of recipes for things that were clearly from still during rationing. Because here's like an odd thing is, after World War II in the UK, rationing didn't end. We stuck with rationing until the 50s, like the mid-late 50s, if memory serves, because it was to, like, you know, help focus the economy and blah 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 blah, other weird reasons essentially. And there's a lot of odd little things, like people going back to stuff that you could forage. So dandelion leaves are considered quite I wouldn't say a delicacy, but they are surprisingly tasty. Like, I actually made a salad that was part of this foraging style guide thing that she had. And I was quite surprised. It's a bit like having quite a peppery rocket leaves in your salad. And I was genuinely shocked. I mean, I know my guinea pigs absolutely love this stuff. So actually trying it for myself was an interesting oddity for me. But it's one of those odd things that, like, if you know what you're doing when you're foraging, I mean, I know dandelion leaves aren't exactly a big thing, but I think there's probably a lot of interesting stuff out there that you could probably get. Unfortunately, for, like, good foragers, a lot of them are like, aha, I find a lot of good mushrooms and stuff, and unfortunately, I absolutely hate mushrooms. So I'd be really bad at that. There's something about them, I just don't like their texture. They make me gag a little bit. It's like, bleh. Because, you know, everyone's got a food that they just don't like. Ooh, where's the farm totem? Ooh, let's get out of here. Yeah, I'm not hanging around with that risk there, thank you very much. Okay, so we're running out of hay a little bit. We're about halfway through. I think I've got enough hay. Think being the operative word. I hope I do. Because it would suck if I don't. I mean, if all else fails, it does mean I'll just have to go and buy some more. But it's not too bad. But I think maybe building a third silo probably wouldn't hurt. Because then I can have even more stockpiled for the winter. And other rainy days. When the animals decide that outdoors shouldn't happen because it's wet. And we don't like it, no thank you. But we've got a few more geodes of the Omni variety, so that's nice and all, I guess. I've also finally now got the 4 cloth that I've been wanting for ages, so I can actually build the damn windmill, which will allow me to mill the ever-important flour and rice and beets, which will be helpful for more of the recipes that I would like to cook. Now, let's just have a quick think as well. Now, one of the things that I would like to do when my chest recovers fully is actually doing a little bit more Twitch streaming. So I've done a little bit along with a friend of mine where we've Twitch streamed some board games. But one of the things that I would like to do is Twitch stream a little bit of Stardew, but also maybe some other games as well. Because, of course, Stardew's essentially my baby at the moment. And I'm happy to have that as my current goal. But I do want to do some of the more dumb stuff that happens in games. Like the Mayor's Shorts, which I've mentioned before, amongst other things. So I need to figure out when's a good day and time. Because, of course... I'm based in GMT, and I'm painfully aware that most people who dwell upon the internets tend to be denizens of the United States. So it would be more useful to them to think of their time zone and such. But that's going to be a consideration for maybe a few weeks' time when I'm less ill. Because I can pause and stop recording when I'm about to have a coughing fit. I can't do that if I'm live streaming with Twitch. And I don't think that's a good noise for anyone to hear. But all the same, looks like it's going to be it for this evening here at the High Ridge Farm. So thank you for joining me. And hopefully I'll catch you again on the next time the Walrus plays Stardew Farm. Stardew Valley even. I can do words good, yes.